No red wire, no red wire, no red wire. I am going to have to delete so many things to make this work again. I don't want to do that. What we're saying is that you two are low and you're the cause for the train to be coming in. I don't know that I need that information. But I don't really care if it's there. I mean, it is one more combinator. Oh, well. I would like to be able to use different symbols than D and E for that. But it's going to have to do. Can't use 1 and 2. All right, well, let's move forward. Find the one that works. Copy it. Paste it. Double check all this mess of wires. God, I hate it. God, I hate it. It's very bad. But that's all I got. That works better. Oh, yeah, these are backwards now. Okay, so you feed to the outside ones and then to the inside ones, and then you go out. All right. Let's give it one more try. Somebody will be along shortly. So this has got 10K, so that one shut off. You were requesting 2 trains. The second train is here already, which is what it should do. You're full? Oh, you're empty. So that wagon ran out and you're not satisfied. And the other one comes in. You're now satisfied, but you're not full. You're at 12K, not 16K. So we're unloading what's left of this train, or of this wagon. May or may not run out. This thing is no longer requesting a train. You're at 15K and you're at 640, so you're probably not going to fill up. Yeah, you're empty. Now we go to inactivity, but we're no longer requesting a train. However, if we figure out a way to force a train to come here, like we temporarily put I equal to 1 on this network. So now a train's going to come here, even though it doesn't have much to unload, which is the failure condition that I saw quite often, and I want to eliminate. So nothing to do. And it just buggers off. I think it unloaded a little bit into one of these. So you're sitting here. Let's see if all of you are completely full. Yeah, so one of you unloaded a little bit. All right, I'm happy with that. You didn't see that. Waves hand. All right. Fudgies. So I need to make a bunch of changes. So we're going to shut this station off completely. And we're going to delete all the combinators and all the power poles. Of all of the unloaders. And just yesterday, I put all these power poles and combinators in, by the way, just so you know. That's how much this sucks to do. And not just on this one, but on all of the stations in this Arabian Peninsula. How's the train? Oh, I blocked off the wrong one. Oh, son of a bitch. Alright, well, whatever. Okay, so this is now an unloader that I can use as a template. What's missing? Lamps, rails, combinators. Alright, well, time to propagate this everywhere, huh? I'm gonna need some trains that have some combinators. Oh, no, that was wrong. That was really wrong. You have combinators on you, King? Yeah, you do. Alright, come here. Alright, while this train comes down here, I'm gonna go hit the bathroom real quick. BRB. Alright, I am back. Time to take more painkillers for my back. Yay! So, yeah. What you just saw was a smaller base train. Cruising through jolly old. Built a rocket silo in England, just outside of London. Small bridge. Pretend it's the channel. Minimal landfill. Alright, I'm going to find some different music. Apologies if it goes off the rails on stuff you like. Yeah, still looking. Haven't decided what I want to watch. Let's see, what playlists do I have? We'll do this one for now. All right. Now, a relative tedious task. I have to go implement this everywhere. As far as the loaders go, while I'm here, might as well decide if I like the way this loader is set up. These are all going to have the same programming. Empty 60 inactive. Am I making my life difficult by doing these in... Nope, that's the correct. I want to pull the empty and the full up top so I know exactly what this train is doing here, so that's it. This is where I wish I had a mod to let me copy these in, but that's the way it is. Empty 65. Yep. So every train is going to need that on its unloader. And I'm fine with that. It's simple enough. But as far as this unloader goes, I don't have the same spacing as I do over there. And I've got 1 and 2 kind of confused here. So Thank you, King Finerb. That's very kind of you. What do I want to do here? If I have more than... I've got F and G here. If I have more than... I don't have the space to do what I'm doing here. But I'm considering making changes, tightening this up. Get it on all fours, it'll tighten right up. F is 1 and G is 2. I could do the same thing as I'm doing here, which is D and E, but I'm trying to distinguish between these. Now on this one, I only want to call when I can load the train, and I don't care about individuals as much. I need all of these trains to say, yeah, these wagons to say, yeah, I'm full. And in a lot of ways, the loader is a lot simpler than the unloader. Unfortunately, I can't do the same layout design. But I would like to snug up these power poles. And yeah. Do you have that you don't play for a couple days, the longer and then you play again, you have to spend ages reverse engineering your own combinators? Handyman, that one, I play pretty much, I stream 6 days a week. I play 6 days a week. I try not to play on Tuesday, which is my day off. Which, by the way, I'll be on holiday over Thanksgiving. But that's one of the reasons I try not to use combinators. That's one of the reasons I try not to do anything, air quotes, fancy or complicated. If you look at my previous factory, the one that builds things that got me here, for a long time, the only combinator I had was the one that balanced the unloading. I've gradually added these other combinators in order to be able to add to dynamic allocate, train requesting. I just sucked it up and had more trains. But part of my move here to being a MegaBase is that I have to be very conscious of how many trains I have moving on. The two things that kill a MegaBase is UPS and trains. UPS is a direct function of inserters, so you want as few moving inserters as possible, so I'm only loading one side of the train and unloading one side of the train. And I'm also trying to limit the number of trains in motion by using dynamic loading. And yeah, I don't like having all of these combinators. I'd like to have half of them. I'm questioning whether I need the second set, but it's frustrating, to say the least. I need an entire separate network here because I can't, in order to be able to have this as generic as possible, I've got to I've got to run a separate network here to hold this data value for this 2. Because I want to say if anything is greater than 1, and I don't know why I'm using anything on this because it could be everything, but it seems to me that everything works in one situation and anything works in another situation. So it all gets pretty confusing. I try and use lights to tell me what I want. I try and be consistent, and I limit the colors I use and the connections I have. But yeah, you're spot on. And if I could find another place to stuff this, I would. But I really can't because I can't use this outside space and be consistent. Working on a little project started a while ago. I'm having to spend quite a lot of time figuring out again. Of course, the scope of the project has changed multiple times since I started, so that complicates things. Yes. I use editor extensions a lot. I mean, a lot. I would normally be doing this work in editor extensions. And I probably should be doing this work in editor extensions. But, I mean, one of the things that you'll notice about this is that this basic structure applies to all of my stuff. I try and use the same, like steel here, furnaces. This 12 beacon is identical to the 12 beacon I'm using for Red Science, and it's the same 12 beacon I'm using for a fluid-based solution like sulfur. It's a little different because of individual things, but the basic premise. And these loaders and unloaders, the layouts of tanks and chests, pipes, and where they go. I've tried to be as consistent as possible, whether I'm unloading 2 or whether I'm unloading 3 or 4 or 1. That way I can just copy paste. I get one solution that works and make it work everywhere. But here I don't see a place for me to change this too much. I don't like having those power poles hanging way out there, so I want to move them. All right. Oh, I am doing that. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that stays. Where is your output going? Just right back there. You just piggyback off of that. Okay. You're doing the same. So do I want this to go here? The output of this, which is G, if it goes here, it's going to end up on the network anyways. As a transference. And you don't care if G is there. And then that's one less wire. All right, let's book it. Let's put it in the books. Call it good. Roll with it. I don't think I've changed anything in the to send the train and set train limit. I don't need to send the train anymore because the train doesn't need to know this, but no point in changing that. Hmm. These are different now. Don't want that there. Jesus, that's terrible. Can't really fix that remotely. I was frustrated. And then you're a little different because you're on the other side, around the other side, around the other side. All right, so let's try and build this down here, transfer this down here. That didn't work. Get rid of all this. Then I think it's a matter of just taking all of this and flipping it good. And we save that. And then we turn on our bots. Then we see if it works. And it does. I is 2 because you have 48K. All right, well, I think that's all done. Now I just need to start exporting it, right? Right. I don't think I'll need more power poles. Thank you, Zoe. I really appreciate the confidence boost there, because this is quite challenging for me. Go away, King Finerb. You need a rest. All right, so I've done this before. Might as well go get started on it. We'll just walk down here to steel. Steel. So the first thing I do is I save off all of this. And then I delete all the power poles and the combinators. And then I go get an unloader. Well, that's a 4-tile unloader. I don't want that. How many am I looking for here? I'm looking for a 2. Steel. Yes. This steel is hot, like your mom. Hello again, Mucky. Yeah, I think I have something that'll work, so now it's just a matter of cleaning up stuff again. and then seeing if it does indeed work. Thank you, Novelli. I appreciate the follow. That's very kind of you. If you have questions, ideas, comments, suggestions, please let me know. Get out of my way for now. Well, thanks. For reasons I have yet to understand, I thought it would be a good idea to let myself put this in a slightly different configuration than I normally use. The result being something that doesn't completely work. Send to train, set train limit. Send to train, set train limit. Thank you, Mucky. That's incredibly kind and generous of you. Very cool. All right, so the only difference here is the steel. All right, so now let's go get the new generic unloader, or the new generic loader, unloader. And then I need to add a inactivity timer to you. Basically, I need to add an inactivity timer to everybody on their unloader. And I probably just did this in the wrong sequence. Because now I'm going to have trains that don't have the new programming set coming here trying to unload, and they're going to get stuck, and it's going to be all screwed up. And then I'm going to cry. Well, I guess I can watch them to see if it does what it's supposed to. You're basically loading up one set of chests. These chests are saying that they have 14,000 in them, and these chests have 12,000. But you're not unloading here. And I think I did this wrong. I didn't... did I want it this way? D1 always, or 1D always on the left? I guess. Novelli, very specific reason. It is to allow me to put a direct line. This design pattern is that I handle wagon, wagon, wagon. Right? So this is one wagon. And in order to make it work with a beacon build, I could either do a bunch of pasta. If you do, you know, locomotive, wagon, 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 wagon. I don't have room to have another beacon build here. So what I realized is that if I put a locomotive in between every other pairing of wagons, it gives me these extra tiles that I can work with. And the result is that I can get a 12 beacon 5 belt build here and here, and then the gap is shared. So basically you see how this is as wide as a train. So I stuck the locomotive in between these two in order to be able to give me the extra width. Now, technically, I could get rid of one of these locomotives and smash these together, but part of my design strategy is that this is a tileable entity. I can tile this. If later on I realize that, you know what, this has not got enough performance and throughput, I can start over somewhere else, or, you know, rip all this up and redo it. And just make the train longer, and just make this longer, because what have I got to do? Take this, copy it, paste it, and then go to its source, which is this iron train, and just simply make it longer too. I don't have to redesign it. Now, obviously, I got to figure out a way to feed that bitch, but that's a problem for future me. But at that point, I start putting speed modules, and I get, you know, I would increase mining productivity, that sort of stuff. Now, what I just realized is that I designed this to be flipped so that D and E go in opposite places. I'm already mad, baby. I'm already mad. So my design here, I've kind of screwed it up. Because what I'm supposed to be able to do is take this pole to pole, and I can't just overlay it because the load balancer is on the opposite power pole. And I've got D here and D here, so it's supposed to be reversed. So what I need to look at is that if I just copy and paste these, does it line up correctly? And I think the answer is yes.